You're lying in bed. Lights off. Phone brightness turned down, so low it feels illegal. You open your banking app. Not to buy anything. Not to do anything irresponsible. Just to look. Because you finally did it. The number loads a little slower than usual. Your heart does that annoying flutter thing. And then it lands. There it is. A balance that doesn't make you flinch. No overdraft warning. No pending charge anxiety. No mental math about groceries versus gas. You feel taller, calmer, like your shoulders just dropped an inch. You think, okay, I'm not broke anymore. And that's when the world notices. Your credit card app lights up with a notification. Party Popper, you're pre-approved for a higher limit. Your bank emails you about exclusive rewards. Your phone pushes a banner that says, earn 5% cash back on dining this month. Your brain does the thing it always does. I earned this. I've been responsible. I can handle it now. So you upgrade to groceries. You stop checking prices as closely. You put a few things on the card because points. Nothing dramatic. Nothing stupid. Just smoother spending. And then, a few months later, you're back in bed. Same room. Same phone. You open the app again. Different feeling. The balance is still there, but so is the card balance. And it's bigger than you remember. Minimum payment looks harmless. Interest rate looks abstract. And you can't quite explain how. But somehow, being better with money is now costing you more. That's the catch. Hitting the number feels like winning, but the rules quietly change. And for most people, this is where credit cards stop being a tool and start siphoning about $5,000 a year out of their future. Not because you're reckless, because the system waits until you feel safe. This video is about that trap and how to fix it fast. Here's the lie we're sold about credit cards, that they're neutral, that if you're disciplined, you'll win, that points, cash back, and perks are just free money for responsible adults. But credit cards don't work like tools. They work like environments, like a casino that gives you free drinks and congratulates you for walking in calmly. The trap isn't overspending. It's decoupling. When cash leaves your hand, your brain registers pain. When a card taps, your brain registers vibes. Multiple studies show people spend 12 to 18% more when using credit versus cash. Not because they're dumb, because the friction is gone. And here's the brutal part. The trap gets stronger the more financially stable you become. When you're broke, credit cards are scary. When you're stable, they feel earned. So the system stops punishing you for being poor and starts taxing you for being comfortable. The average credit card APR right now is north of 20%. That's not a typo. 20%. Carry a $8,000 balance? You're paying roughly $1,600 a year just for the privilege of waiting. Add lifestyle creep. Eating out more subscriptions. It's only $40 purchases. And suddenly the invisible tax is $4. $5K a year. Not in one charge. In 1,000 tiny approvals. And if you've ever thought, why does it feel like I make more but save less? You're not broken. That's almost everyone. This isn't a self-control issue. It's a design issue. Credit cards are engineered to feel easiest, right, when your guard is lowest. And most people think they crossed the finish line, when they actually just stepped onto a moving walkway, going the wrong direction. My name is Peter. I'm not a guru. I'm not selling a course. And I don't think you need a vision board with a Lamborghini on it. I'm just obsessed with how money actually works, especially the parts that sound boring, feel subtle, and quietly drain people who are doing everything right. Quick disclaimer before we go further. This video is for education and entertainment only. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know your situation. Talk to a qualified professional before making financial decisions. Now let's talk about why credit cards flip from helpful to expensive the moment you think you figured them out. There are two phases almost everyone goes through. Phase 1 is survival. You're scraping. You're tracking every dollar. Your credit card is a last resort or a necessary evil. You pay it down. You feel proud. You promise yourself you'll use it responsibly once things improve. Then you hit Phase 2. Phase 2 is stability. You're not rich, but you're not panicking. And this is where everything shifts. Your brain relaxes. Your vigilance drops. Your standards upgrade. And the system loves phase two. Because once you're stable, you're profitable. Banks raise your limits. Apps push rewards. Spending feels smoother, justified. Even, you survive scarcity. So reward feels earned. That's the psychological trap. After deprivation, any convenience feels like progress. After stress, any comfort feels responsible. So instead of asking, should I buy this? You ask, which card should I use? That's not budgeting. That's optimization inside a trap. Credit cards start dictating behavior. You delay paying balances because the minimum is low. You rationalize interest because it's temporary. You chase points that are worth pennies while paying dollars in interest. The system is tuned so you never wander too far, but never quite get free, because someone paying interest forever is more valuable than someone who pays off a card once. This is the rich tax no one calls a tax. And it doesn't show up as a bill. It shows up as drag. Let's do boring math. Because boring math exposes lies. Say you carry an average balance of $10,000 at 22% APR. That's $2,200 a year in interest. Now add behavior. If reward and ease because you spend just $300 more per month, which is conservative, that's another $3,600 a year. Congratulations. You're now paying $5,800 annually for convenience. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 averages about 7 to 10% long-term, meaning the money you're leaking could have compounded instead of evaporated. Vanguard and Dalbar data consistently show that consumer behavior, not investment choice, is the biggest drag on wealth. Same income, same tools, different rules. The winners reduce friction for saving and increase friction for spending. Not motivation, not willpower. Design. Meet Alex. Alex finally gets stable. Good job. Decent savings. Multiple cards with great rewards. Alex pays on time. Carries balances strategically. Feels smart. 10 years later, Alex isn't broke, but isn't free either. The balances never quite disappear. The lifestyle expanded to match the limits. Interest quietly ate the upside. Alex did nothing wrong. Alex did what the system nudged. Now meet Jordan. Same income, same cards. But Jordan set rules early. One card for fixed bills. One card paid off weekly. Hard limit that never increased. Jordan treats credit like fire, useful but contained. 10 years later, Jordan has options, not yachts. Options. According to Federal Reserve data, households that carry revolving balances long-term are dramatically less likely to build net worth, even at the same income levels. Not because of bad decisions, because of unprotected defaults. Here's the fix. Simple, not sexy, effective. Set a credit floor. Decide the maximum balance you will ever carry. Treat it like a cliff. Separate cards by purpose. Bills card. Spending card. No mixing. Pay more often. Weekly beats monthly. Friction is your friend. Stop chasing rewards if you carry interest. Cashback is not cash if it costs interest. Be suspicious of limit increases. They're not compliments. They're invitations. Automate payoff, not minimums. Minimums keep you stuck. Automation sets you free. The real mindset shift is this. Credit cards are not income. They're not safety nets. They're not progress. They're leverage. And leverage without rules always leaks. The real catches in that credit card are evil. It's that they work best when you don't need them, and worse when you feel comfortable using them. Protect your first stable number like it's the floor, not the finish line. Because money isn't about feeling rich today. It's about buying options tomorrow. No magic, just fewer mistakes.